How to write a great summary and paraphrase. Summary writing is one of the most common assignments in American universities. Paraphrasing is difficult for both international and American students. What are the 5 steps to writing a great summary? Summary writing, step number 1. Skim the reading material for the following key information: title, subheadings, dividing sections, and keywords, and organization. So take a little bit of time to skim through the reading and look for these things before you start. Step number 2. Read the text thoroughly and annotate. Highlight and take notes in the margins or in a notebook. Ask questions and paraphrase main idea and supporting points as you find them. Step number 3. Read it several times. Put the reading away and try to remember it in your own words. This is really important. If you keep the reading out as you're writing your summary, you're way more likely to use too many words from the original source. Without looking at the original, write a summary of only the main ideas and supporting points. Step number 4. Check the original. See if you missed anything and make sure to paraphrase similar words or the same words used from the original. Take time to write a well-organized summary and give credit to the author. Let's talk now about giving credit and paraphrasing a little more. This is step number 5. Your first sentence of your summary should have the title, the author's last name, date of publication, just the year, and the main idea. The rest of the summary should have key supporting points of the main idea in your own words. Remember to paraphrase. Let's look at an annotation and summary example from this article from the New York Times called The Changing American Family, written by Angier in 2013. Here's the original article that I summarized as an example. You can see that this article is about 2.5 pages long, and here's the full citation of the MLA style and the references. This is really important to make sure to do when you find an article that you want to summarize online. Here's an example of annotations. I gave some ideas here about how I annotated. I put the main idea in pink and the supporting points in green, and I underlined the key vocabulary and circled strong details. You can see that I wrote in the margins, and I asked questions, and I looked up vocabulary words. I put some numbers where I found the key supporting points that I want to mention in my summary. I made reflections. You can see that it's also good to make comments about the article, things that are surprising to you, shocking to you, things like that. Here's an example summary of the article. You can see that it's about 8 to 10 sentences long. It's an average summary. And you can see in this first sentence I've given the main idea with the article title and the author's last name and the year and the date of the publication. Now let's look at an example of a paraphrase. Here's the original sentence from the article. Researchers who study the structure and evolution of the American family express unsullied astonishment at how rapidly the family has changed in recent years, the transformations often exceeding or capsizing those same experts' predictions of just a few journal articles ago. Here's a paraphrase possibility. Angier's 2013 states that social scientists who analyze the construct of the household in the U.S. have been dumbfounded by the accelerated way in which they have gone through a metamorphosis that has gone beyond anything they assumed in previous studies. So you'll notice that I use some key words, like I use dumbfounded instead of astonished. I use construct instead of structure, household in the US instead of family in America, metamorphosis instead of change. So there's lots of ways to paraphrase. Use synonyms. Here's a couple of tips. Make sure to give credit to the author and use verbs like states, claims, argues. Change the grammar, word order, and synonyms, and use synonyms. Here's an example. Here's the original part of that sentence. Researchers who study the structure and evolution of the American family. Here's the paraphrase. Angier states that social scientists who analyze the construct of the household in the US.